Hello, ladies. I am super excited about today's projects because it's Christmas. I have a combination of cards and 3D projects to share with you today. The first one we're going to make is a little glass ornament with paper curls inside. It's a little bit hard to see when it's like on my camera this way. There. Isn't that gorgeous? So it's actually quite easy to make. This was something that I found on one of the Facebook groups that I belong to. I actually had these clear glass balls at home, and I posted what should I do for these for my card class group. And I had several ladies come up with ideas. They kind of ranged from putting glitter and re-inker and doing like a swirl inside a glass bulb to different paper or embellishments. And I really like this one just because I think it's relatively simple, but they're fun and fast to make. And each one of them ends up different. And it really depends how tightly your curls are too. Sometimes the next one I'm going to show you, this one, the curl actually stayed quite small. And it just gives it a totally different look. So the biggest thing, I did these with my kids the other day, is to not drop it. So in the end, I did end up putting mine in a styrofoam cup just to keep it from rolling around the work surface. To get the top part out, you basically just pull straight upwards. So if you're following along with me with a kit, you should have a bunch of designer series paper that has been included, and you basically just start rolling it around a pencil, and then you just pop it inside. And what I have figured out is the faster you roll, the smaller your curls stay. And then if you kind of want more of that uncurled look, if you take a pen or a pencil and kind of like poke at them a little bit, then they'll unravel as well. So the designer series paper right now is a 1/2 inch by 6 inches long. Some of them are shorter at 4 inches. I just took like a coordinating designer series pack and used it. Great way to use up little bits of scraps and things like that. After doing it with my kids, and I had one of my kids was almost full, like one paper roll away, and it rolled off the table because he didn't put it in his styrofoam cup and smashed to smithereens. So I would suggest, if you decide to do it with kids, which they really do love doing, apparently you can buy plastic bulbs, and I would suggest going into the realm of plastic from my experience, because I had a very sad little face. It was a little bit crushed. It happens. People did say, like, if you bought larger bulbs, so ones that were more the size of like a baseball, that then in order to kind of get that same really full curled look, that they use 12-inch length strips. So I think it just depends on the size of your bulb, just with regards to how long you want to be the strips, but 1/2 inch seemed to be the option. I don't think you could do 12-inch strips with this size, just because you wouldn't be able to get it through the top part of that bulb. It would just be too, like, your roll around your pencil, it would just make it way too thick. Part of the reason that I did some shorter ones at 4 inches was I thought that then those ones would be a little bit smaller to kind of fill in those gaps. And I definitely would suggest using double-sided designer series paper, just because ultimately when you're done, you can see both sides of the paper. My youngest was so cute. He put 3 rolls in and then was like, yep, I'm done. And I'm like, my husband's like, do we finish it off for him? I'm like, no, then we're going to be trying to get out all these extra little bits of rolls. If he's only put 3 in and decided that that's the final project, that's just what his project is going to look like. It's his own take. Nice thing is we can always this one to go over a little bit. You can kind of see it kind of like push them a little bit and then they got a little bit bigger, or shaking it too. It probably gives you a migraine if I do that on the screen. Kind of gives you that option. And I thought this was so neat. I'm like, it definitely, I don't know, as a crafter, I find it so hard to like throw away that last little bit of strip paper. I'm always like, oh, can I put this on the inside of a card? Can I make a card with all the little bits and pieces? It's, you know, we all have lots of paper in our stash, and yet it's hard to, you know, be wasteful, right? So especially with Stampin' Up supplies. So, but I definitely found that something that kind of is fun. And I think like if you were doing something with a group of adults or kids, that kind of it encompasses like all skill levels. I'm just going to kind of poke it around there. For whatever reason, my last 2 are the same pieces of designer series paper. So I found that, I don't know how many inches this bulb is, but I found that I got in, I wasn't counting because I was so busy chatting this time. I found that I got in around 12 sheets of paper on this one, like 12 little strips. This one I actually wasn't counting. I'll have to go back and watch the video. Okay, so then you just pinch those little rings. And I found that sometimes these little tabs you just have to take and I had a little pair of pliers. Probably Picket tool will work too. Sometimes the tabs kind of want to fold in on you, so you just have to take a little metal of tool of some kind to kind of pick them out. So you can kind of see like this one is definitely like a tighter roll, and this one's more loose. But I think they both look really pretty. And you can definitely do different themes. I've seen people that, now that I've looked on Pinterest, have done them with more of like a red and gold theme. People, like if you had like our penguin paper from this year, you can do it more as, you know, a silver, no, not silver, purple and like light blue. Like I think like there's just so many options. Use up all that designer series paper. Then I did a little tag. I cut that using, well, it's retired, but the little oval stitch die. And I stamped it with "'Tis the Season." I have a little punch here. I'm gonna punch a little hole on that end. And then I have some cord. So I'm just gonna run my cord through my little punch and through the top of the bulb. And then just give it a little knot on the end. Just trim that up. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do is put a bow. I'm just going to put this in my styrofoam cup because you don't want your project to roll away at that last possible minute. So the easiest way I found to get that bow on the very top is I took my ribbon and looped it through so I had like a knot hole. Oops. And I actually did this usually with it in my styrofoam cup. So once you have that knot hole, then you can kind of tighten it on the top of the bulb, and it like turned around this way. And then I'm just going to tie it on as a bow. just like that. Okay. So it just looks like that. I'm going to cut these ends off at a little bit of an angle. And there you go. Something super cute. It's on the other side. Super cute to decorate your Christmas tree. And if you had like little things that you wanted to, you know, hand out for Christmas to neighbors or something like that, what a great way to like kind of share your stamping joy and give a little Christmassy stuff too. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is a cute little Christmas tag with box, and this is using the gingerbread die set from this year. I'm not sure how to put that underneath the camera. So I have a piece of cherry cobbler. I'm using lots of retired stuff this month. Sometimes life just happens that way, right? So this was a retired die cut circle set from a couple of years ago, and it had the scalloped circle that I cut out in the whisper white or basic white, and then the cherry cobbler I cut out and then embossed it with the snowflake embossing folder. So I'm just going to glue these two together. I've been cleaning here. I can't find my my adhesive, of course. Okay, so I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of the cherry cobbler piece, stick that on. And then I'm going to take my Tombow glue and put some little dots of glue on the back. Nice thing is it always dries clear, so that's excellent. Okay, now I have just like a regular hole punch. I'm going to put a hole punch at the top of my little bell, and then I'm going to put a hole punch probably about half an inch in on the white and red circles. I don't want it too close to the edge just because I don't want it to tear. And I have a piece of gold cord. I'm going to fold it in half and push that loop forward. And I'm going to go back from the white piece through the red and then continue on through the bell. And then I'm going to loop those ends through the loop like that bookmark tie and pull tight. Now this kit, if you're following along with a kit with me at home, I cut these gingerbread shapes out in the form of using everything in the dies. So there was a star, a bell, a snowflake, and a Christmas ornament. So you may have one of those four. From there, so I kind of left it, so I kind of wanted it to hang right back and forth. I have already pre-stamped my Merry Christmas, so there's like a little die cut piece in the set. And I'm just going to use a mini dimensional to pop that on. I didn't do a good job of stamping the one side. So here I am doing it on the other side. Always good that there's two sides of the paper, right? And then last but not least, I'm going to pop a little bow on the front using a glue dot. Okay, now the box. I'm not sure if my screen's too close. Just hold in the two tabs at the bottom And then fold in the bottom piece of the box. The sides kind of press in a little bit like that. And then when you close the top, there's a little tab piece here. It actually tucks under. Okay. So now with the, I'm not sure how this is going to work in 3D. So I have those two end cords for my tag. With my tag facing the front, I'm going to put the one cord through that, and then I'm just going to tie a knot. Make it a little bit looser if you'd like. And then I'm going to tie another little bow. So when you're done, you have kind of your like little tag swinging back and forth with your little ornament swinging back and forth with Merry Christmas or another sentiment if you choose. And then that's all kind of through that little handle part. I thought that was uber cute. And I think it'd be so nice, like something that you can like easily fill for a coworker, a friend, or a family member. I'm thinking I have a couple of extras. I think I'm going to fill them next year with some like little mini cards to give out for Christmas. I don't know if they fit a full-size card, but they would definitely fit like the 3x3 cards, or you can put some like chocolates in it, or another little gift. So that is project number 2. Very Christmassy and hopefully useful. I kind of like these boxes because they were big enough that I felt that, you know, you're kind of not struggling to be like, what fits in this? What doesn't fit in? Things like that. Okay, and so the very final project for this session is a Christmas card using the Eden's Garden bundle, as well as the poinsettia die set with our velvet paper. So this is what the dies look like. And they just look fabulous, cut out in gold. I won't even lie, I love it in gold. And the other thing I really wanted to show you was the release of the cotton paper. I've really been following online what people have been doing with that. It's that really thin paper. It's almost like tissue paper. And I felt that by doing this card kind of showcases how, like, what to do with this paper that was part of that paper share. So there's 2 color combinations with this one. They're both using the soft succulent green and the evening evergreen, but some have the evening evergreen as the dark piece of cardstock, the one that you fold in half, followed by the I have a little person here requesting Lego help here too. I don't know if I can get this part right. Oh, there we go. Okay. So going back, so you'll either have in your kit either the soft succulent as the background, then with the evening evergreen as the layering piece, or vice versa. Have the soft succulent is, the evening evergreen is the dark piece, and then the soft succulent is the light piece. So fold your main cardstock in half, and then just glue with regular adhesive the 4" by 5 1/4" cardstock in the opposing color. Then you will have a piece of the cotton paper in the same color as your main base of your card. So in this case, I have a soft succulent background. So I have a soft succulent cotton paper piece. If you have a dark evergreen, like main piece that your card is folded into, you'll have a dark evergreen, evening evergreen of the cotton paper. So now this is so counterintuitive, but you're going to crumple it all up. Crumple it all up and then spread it out. From there, then put your adhesive. You can't put your adhesive onto the cotton paper. It just tears it to bits. So, and with this, you really don't need to make sure that your adhesive is going to the edge, because the whole concept here is that you kind of get a bit of that, say unfinished, that's not the right word, but that crumply little look, that's like kind of what we're aiming for. So you don't want to glue down the edges. And I've seen people even like go to that extent of like kind of curling it a little bit more. So you're going to have that on. In there, you also have a piece of the designer series paper. It's cut 2 inches by 3 3/4. You're going to glue it on the left-hand side of your card. It does cover the cotton paper, and it just leaves that same borderish look. Again, don't put the adhesive on the cotton paper. Put it on the back of the designer series paper. Next, you should have in your kit a piece of gold strip. There is adhesive, like I already put adhesive on these, so you just want to pull the backing off and glue that on. It'll stretch from the edges of that first layering piece. Also in your kit, you'll have, I don't know if mine is here. I maybe didn't do it for myself. Oh, I did. You should have a piece of gold die cut, and it'll have that adhesive backing on the back as well, and kind of line it up mostly to the left-hand side, almost to the edge of your designer series paper. I then stamped the Let's Celebrate Everything in Gold. Okay, so for then this last piece, I have that, there was already adhesive on the back of that, so peel that off and stick it on almost to the left side. Then from the dies, I have a half of the evergreen leaves cut out. So this is kind of nice because you can kind of make 2 cards from one running through your big shot. And I just put a little bit of Tombow glue on the back there. And I just realized something. Hopefully you're not following along completely. Long story short, I tucked, oh, it'll still come off. I tucked this underneath the gold so that this one side isn't showing. This side is showing by your poinsettia. If you haven't, maybe if you can tuck both pieces under, do that. Okay. Trying to be too excited about my own card. Then I have the little poinsettia pieces that were cut from the velvet paper. I'm going to take and put a little bit of glue on that, stick it on, stick the smaller poinsettia onto layer, and then I put one of the gold gilded gems in the center of the poinsettia. And then last but not least, I stamped Let's Celebrate Everything and embossed it in gold. And I thought, like, let's celebrate everything. Like if you had someone that had a birthday in December and you wanted more of a Christmassy themed birthday card, you could use it for that. I gave everyone a longer piece, just so that if you're embossing, you can like cut it and not, not burn your fingers. Anyways, that's the last card. I thought I was going to save pieces for myself that I had one in each color to show you, but apparently I was not that organized this month. Anyways, that's the three projects I wanted to share with you. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas season, and hope to continue stamping with you again in January 2022. Have a great night.